Morning. This is Naved Khan. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about something that's applicable to you, me, organizations, countries, empires, and everyone. The topic of my discussion today is how the mighty fall. Actually, it's based on two things. First is the theory of gravity put forward by Newton, which say that whatever goes up must come down. The second thing is where I've taken my lead from is a book by Jim Collins called How the Mighty Fall. Jim Collins basically talks about 5 stages of decline that organizations go through. He also talks about how organizations, if they are able to understand what is going wrong, can also do it. But today, all that I'm going to talk about is the 5 stages of decline and see how it applies to your life, my country, your country, whatever, or the global order, or whatever the things are. So that's basically the topic of my discussion today. And in light of this, first we see that there is the mighty fall. Today, you're the greatest country in the world. Today, you're the biggest organization in the world. Today, you're a leader that everybody talks about. But then the mighty fall and the glory fades away. We all heard of the rise of Roman Empire and the fall of Roman Empire. The rise of Ottoman Empire and the fall of Ottoman Empire. Then the almighty British Empire, which people thought will never fall, that also fell. And today it has been reduced to something which is almost irrelevance. So let us work on this and see how we can move from over here. As you can see, the title of the book, How the Mighty Fall by Jim Collins. This is, like I said, my inspiration on which I'm talking about today. He's described the 5 stages of decline, as you can see them over here, but I will just read them over here. The stage 1 is the hubris, born of success. The stage 2 is the undisciplined pursuit of more. And the stage 3 is the denial of risk and peril. And the fourth stage is grasping for salvation. And then comes in the final stage 5, which is capitulation to irrelevance or to death. Like I said, it's applicable to us as individuals, applicable to our business organizations, maybe applicable to countries, applicable to the global order. All these things are there. There is nothing that stays permanent. The times have changed. In the old days, it took you something like 30 or 40 years to build up an organization. And it took at least 5 or 10 years for the organizations to go down. But what's happened in this current century, the organizations come up out of nowhere. And the organizations which are right at the top, suddenly, just one fine day, they disappear. So first stage is basically the hubris of success. In this, leaders in organizations develop arrogance. Now, where does this arrogance come in? And the arrogance comes in they have had a success in one venture or two venture or something. And because they've had a success in one venture or two venture, they begin to believe that they could go on and conquer the world just the same way as they had a successful thing. Now, they also begin to believe that success is their birthright, and they totally lose the discipline that is required to maintain it. Now, this is hubris that happens to us as individuals, organizations, countries, empires, and so on. Let's go on to the stage two. In the stage two, the organizations overreach, expanding too fast in areas outside their core competencies and neglect the fundamentals. They begin to think that we could do anything. There is nothing that's not possible. And then they get into areas where they have not understood how the competition will be there. And when this happens, there is a problem. And this happens when suddenly they begins to come at stage where they begin to go down. These people have in this country, what what the managers or leaders often do, they basically deny the risk. While the internal data shows that no, this is not possible, this cannot be done. And there is trouble, but the leaders ignore all these risk information and they amplify some positive data that was, and they say, no, 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 it is, you're just saying it like this. It doesn't happen. And they get into the venture. Now, totally they deny the risk. They're not willing to listen to anyone. And this is where the trouble starts. Then obviously, when they get into it and the things are not going right, and suddenly they realize they're in a panic. And they rush to find what you refer as the silver bullets. They work on radical, untested solutions, doing this and doing that. They're in desperation. They don't know what to do. And they keep repeating, doing things that are not working, but they keep thinking that we do more of it, it'll work. And this is something that usually worsens the situation. Then comes in the final stage, where the organizations are broken. They're facing economic problems. The data shows that whatever they're doing is only hurting their organization, their country, or whatever it is. And then there is this thing of the position does not remain the same what it was. They're no longer the mighty, they begin to fall. And we have witnessed it, like I said, in case of organizations all over the world, in our own country, and in case of the thing. So this was my little thing on how the mighty fall, and I hope you can use it in your own context and decide how it works for you. Okay? So now the time has come for me to end this thing. I hope you have a good day, good time, and enjoy whatever you're doing. So I basically will end the meeting. Okay. I'm a little slow on this.